Let's talk about money, abundance, wealth, resources, and most specifically, let's talk about you being resourced. Let's talk about money today. I am a lifelong student of money. I consider myself that, and I have a lot to share about money. In today's video, I want to talk about your relationship with money and how we've been conditioned to look at money. Now, before I dive into this, I want to share a little bit about my journey with money because it is not little and it has not been easy. And it's important to note that because whenever we're listening to a topic from somebody, it's always important to note the position they started from because wherever somebody starts from is going to cultivate what they teach you, right? So I was born into a family without money. So that's going to affect how I see money throughout my entire life. And I always say, don't ever listen to me for advice about weight loss. Like, I've just never really had a problem with losing weight. I really don't know what people go through to actually lose weight and to be truly challenged by it. Like, it's just not been one of my things to deal with. I've had all of my own things to deal with. That just hasn't been one of them. Money, I know. Power, I know. Alignment, I know. Because these have been the three things, if I could say, in my life, really. There's probably one other one, but that I've had the biggest challenges with it. And ironically, they're all linked together. They really, truly are power, alignment, and money. So I'm just going to mention, like I said, a bit about my money journey. So I was born into a family without money. And, I was always jealous of the families who said, well, we didn't have much, but we loved each other and, we did the best we could. I didn't have that. We don't have money and it caused chaos. It caused fights. It caused a lot of just destructive behavior. So that's how I grew up. And then I went to university and I decided to get a degree in economics because I took an economics course and I'm like, oh my God, I'm learning about money. Like I just had this thing where because I saw in my family how much destructive it was. I'm like, I've got to have it so then I can be happy, right? Of course, that was the program I had too, right? And then I became a CPA and I was a CPA in corporate for many years. And then I did financial planning. So my experience in like the 3D world, practical sense, learning about money is quite extensive. And what I learned, especially when I started helping people with their own personal finances, is I would teach them things. I would teach them strategies and I would support them in investments and blah, blah, blah. And it was like I would never get through. It's like I was talking and what I was saying was never getting through. And I started to get curious. I'm like, why is nobody taking any action? Why does it feel like I'm talking to a wall, right? And not in a judgment way, but I'm just like, I can tell when I'm not getting through, right? And I'm like, oh, there's people have so much stories about money, so much shame about money, so many blocks about money. And that's when I started to dive into the energetics of money. This was many, many years ago. And I stopped doing that business because I'm like, there's a different angle I have to come at from here. I'm not meant to sell people investments that I know are going to work if they've got all these blocks around money. So I dove deep into the energetics of money. And wow, that's been quite an experience. So first of all, before I go even further in this video, I want to mention that if you've been trying to figure out money for a long time, working on some, abundance things, what I'm going to tell you right now is it is, I don't want to say complicated because it's not really complicated, but it's extensive. We've been really, really conditioned in so many ways to not accept money and to not draw money in. We've just been conditioned in scarcity. So I just want to make that really, really clear right now, not to discourage you, but to empower you. So if you feel defeated in any way, okay, just right off the bat, I've been studying this for many, many years, and there are many, many layers to it, but I also know how to get yourself out of it. And a lot of what I share and I'm going to be sharing is not what you'll hear in other places, okay? Before I continue, though, I do want to mention before I forget, I've just released a free resource. This is actually the first time I'm mentioning it. Last year, I did a paid event about your relationship with money. I'm just now offering that now for free. So I'm going to put the link down below here in the show notes. So be sure to grab that. I'll try to mention it afterwards and I'll keep mentioning it again, but it's a free resource. It has a clearing in it as well as an activation around money. Okay, so down below. So where we have been taught, I believe, in a lot of the self-development, personal development space is to look at lack, to look at lack and scarcity is a lot of where we're looked at. We're taught, to look at money in terms of it's not a bad thing. We probably heard that money is just neutral. It's not a bad thing. And that can be helpful because those things are true, but they're so very incomplete. I know my money situation didn't really begin to change until I did two things. I talk about reclaiming your power so much because the effects of reclaiming your power, it affects every part of your life, including money. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we have been taught to put money on a pedestal. That's what we were conditioned to do in this world. Now think about it. Anything we put on a pedestal, right? We put above us and we're now below. We give all our power away to money. Now, how do you know you're doing this? Now, you were taught to do this. We don't even see it anymore. This is the crazy thing. Is you probably don't even see this anymore. I know I didn't for the longest time, but if you make a lot of your life decisions based on money, you've given your power away to money. Now, you might say, well, that's just practical. It's what I have to do. It's what it's in my bank account, what I have available to me. And yes, there is a 3D aspect to this, but this is deep. This is deep. Because what we do is when we put all our filters through money, we let money dictate our life. Now, I'm not saying you go out and do something irresponsible, but there's a difference between being reckless with money and just going to doing whatever you want and letting money control you. And so much of this world is we've seen two extremes. Okay, we've seen two extremes. It's one or the other. Either you're completely irresponsible or you let money run your life. I mean, let's face it, most people would not be in the careers that they are in right now if it wasn't for money. They would have completely changed careers by now. And so when I talk about alignment and I talk about reclaiming your power so often, the reason why people don't go into alignment, one of two reasons typically. One is money. One is absolutely money. If I don't keep grinding at what I'm doing, I'm not going to have any money. The second one is often relationships. The people in my life aren't going to understand, or they're going to leave me in abandonment somewhere around there. Why we don't choose alignment? But alignment without reclaiming your power and healing your relationship with money is rather incomplete. Because it's the moment you start to come into alignment, if you don't reclaim your power, you're not going to keep going. And if you don't actually believe money's going to be there, you're not going to keep going. So understand that a big part of the journey of having a life that you completely love and adore, a career, like every part of your life, loving what you do, is understanding that you have to reclaim your power when it comes to money. Money has to be taken off the pedestal. Money needs to become your partner. Money become your ally. There's a big part of trust around this. We've been taught that money is not going to be there for us. Most of us have been taught this, right? And that's why we grab it. And that's why we hold on to it. Of course, ironically, whatever you grab or try to hold on to, it runs away. Like there's so many layers to this. But when you start to reclaim your power, what you understand is like you are the power source of everything. You get to decide your relationship with money. You get to decide all of these things. But to do these things, to reclaim your power and to choose alignment without dealing with your relationship with money is going to be very challenging. However, what I will say is that when you start to reclaim your power, what happens is your money stuff starts to come up. Think about it. So if you've got money on a pedestal and you're down here and you start rising yourself up, you're going to bump against it. Because what happens when you reclaim your power is you just go, I don't want to give my power away to anybody or anything. So you're going to run up against your relationship with money because you're just not going to be willing to give your power away to it anymore. And this is one of the biggest life lessons of going in the new paradigm. And this is what stops the majority of people from choosing a life of alignment, from choosing to reclaim their power. But understand that they're linked. You cannot deal with money in isolation if you're not reclaiming your power. The two go together, okay? You just can't, because you're not going to hit all the issues. You see, we can sit here and try to figure out what our challenges are with money. We can sit here and try to figure out what's this or it's this or it's this. But it is the act of reclaiming your power that you will start to see your issues with money. And your issues with money are very specific to you. There are some collective programs, absolutely. But more than that, you are going to have very specific, because it's how you were brought up, how you were conditioned when you were little, how your parents spoke about money, how the community around you, honestly, the color of your skin, your gender. I mean, men and women are taught about money so differently. We have such different conditioning around money. But you're not going to see all of these things until you start reclaiming your power. And then you go, oh my God, I've reclaimed my power, but I'm still not getting somewhere. What's going on here? And then you dig a little deeper. This moving into the new paradigm isn't this like this. It's not one step. It's a spiral upwards. And so, especially with money, because it's one of the biggest things that we're healing right now on the earth, is you're going to keep coming around. Like, I am still healing my relationship with money, but I'm at the point now where I'm like such in a phase of refinement. Like I say, I am a lifelong student. I don't know if I'll ever get it completely. Who really knows? It's not my goal though. But now I'm in a place of such refinement. I can see the littlest nuance where I have a trigger around money or something goes on with me with money, and I can immediately deal with it and clear it and move on. But the path towards actually having abundance and having wealth and healing your relationships ultimately with money is reclaiming your power. Because right now, chances are you have given all your power away to money. And we've been conditioned to do that. So what I would encourage you to do right now, if anything this resonates with you, is grab the free resource that I'm putting down below here. It's a clearing. We're going to talk about your stories that you have around money and clear them. And then again, an activation to start to create a new relationship with money. And then of course, I'll obviously link down my Reclaim Your Power Masterclass as well. Using those two together, but that's really how you clear a lot of your money stories. Is you've got to do these both at the same time. To do one without the other is incomplete. I tried to do that. I tried to deal with everything around money without reclaiming my power, and I didn't get anywhere. And so these two do go together. And so I want to share this with you to help liberate you, because a lot of the information we hear out in the world right now, even when it comes to the energetics of money, doesn't talk about reclaiming your power. Because reclaiming your power doesn't sound like it has anything to do with money, but it does. These are all interlinked. Alignment, power, wealth, money, being resourced, and you, being the conscious, beautiful soul that you are here to create wealth. You are here to be fully resourced. You are here to change your life, to change the trajectory of your lineage, to heal the relationship with money. You would not be pulled towards the new paradigm, because that is such a big part of the new paradigm, is healing our relationship with resources, money, and abundance. You're here for this. Also, I will also mention before I end this video is that if you are feeling particularly stuck around money, my one-on-one sessions, we go deep into this stuff. We get a lot done in my one hour one-on-one sessions. We can go quite a bit into depth. We get a lot done. So if you're really stuck and you're not seeing something, There could be something energetically underneath it that's blocking you from moving forward. So I'll put the link down for that below as well. And okay, one more thing. You can tell I love talking about money. Oh my gosh. Like, stay tuned, subscribe, follow me, because we're going to be talking about money in this month of May. And I just want to normalize it. I want to normalize talking about money. But I also recorded a podcast this week. It'll be out in the next couple weeks with this beautiful, beautiful, amazing human. She's actually a CPA. She's a wealth architect, and we share a really rich conversation about some of the stuff that I'm talking about today. So stay tuned, subscribe, and yeah, that's going to be coming out soon. It's probably about a 45 minute conversation, and it was a lot of fun. Her and I really, really connected and clicked on so many things here. So there's lots of juicy bits in it. So yeah, that's coming out soon. Stay tuned, and lots more talk about money. Okay. Oh my God, I'm such a dork. Okay. If there's something you want to know about money, if you're like, oh my God, help me with this issue. Okay. Comment below or send me a message. Like, I have goosebumps right now. Let's do this. Like, let's March, is it May? No, May money. Let's call it May money. Money May. Let's call it Money May. Let's do this. If there's something you want to know about money, comment below and go, I want to understand this part of it. Or if you're having a particular block, obviously I won't talk about your situation in a video, but I can share, because chances are if you're thinking something, if you're having a trouble with something, somebody else is too, okay? We need all of us high conscious beings being fully resourced. This is the name of the game now. This is the new paradigm, and I am so here for it. Share a comment below if you're here for it. Claim it. And that's such a big part of money, by the way, is claiming. Just going to put that out there as a little seed. That's what money's about. It's about claiming it, right? Okay, I'm going to finish this here. I'm going to stop talking. All right, beautiful soul. I will talk to you soon. Take care.